Okay guys, I keep thinking about making this video about what it's really like to live with schizophrenia. And a lot of stuff that I put out there, I try to be really positive because I really do believe what we put out there comes back to us. And so I don't want to complain a lot all the time and just be in a dark space and put out dark media and talk about my problems and all that stuff. But I think sometimes there's also like a place for that because it helps you feel real and authentic, and it helps people understand that they're not alone, and seeing other people struggle, it can be a bit of a shared journey together. And so I just really wanted to be super honest with you guys. Like sometimes I feel over the moon and I'm like full of joy and peace and everything's going good and I'm disciplined and I do fun things at home and I sing and relationships go well and friendships and work and everything. And then other days I just feel like everything's falling apart. And yeah, I just try to be super strong about it and through it. And I remember what I've been through. And what I went through was way, way worse than I'm going through now. That actually brings me hope and comfort, and it makes me want to wake up and believe that even in the future could be better than this, in this life or the next. And if it's not better, I'm still grateful for how far I came. Um, if you guys have watched my videos before, you'll understand kind of what happened to me in my past, and working through a lot of trauma, and I can get super triggered by things that make me feel like I can't trust myself or others or the world around me. And in that moment, I cry a lot, and then I come back to myself and find balance too, right? Where it's like okay, maybe crying is good. Maybe I can see what's inside of me and let it come up and then let it go. And I think the main thing is to keep taking care of myself through those times, and also the ones that I love, and my partner and my dog and my son and my friends and my family, and not blame them even if I feel like they're the trigger sometimes. I really try to look inside me. Hi Luna. I really try to look inside myself and see what's my part in this. What am I maybe doing to contribute to this or to attract it to me, or what can I do to heal it? And I don't want to go into like personal stuff about relationships because that's not my place on YouTube. But it seems like this, and this can be beautiful in a way but scary too, where it's like it's my experience is like, oh, everything I do affects the world around me. This is what it seems. I don't really know for sure, but it's like when I feel more aligned or I do things that are part of my purpose, it'll like snow and I'm like, oh, did I cause it to snow? And then it'll be like a drought for 4 weeks, and I'm like what am I doing wrong to cause the drought? And then, you know, I talked about this before, like, oh, there's a piece of graffiti on the bus or someone with a t-shirt that says something really mean, and I'm like, why am I attracting this? What did I do wrong? And then someone will have a t-shirt with a positive inspiration, and I'm like, what did I do right? And it's exhausting to live like that and take everything personal. But it's also beautiful in a way, because I'm like, well, if it is real, then how do I create positive things? Or like, and I still work with manifesting and gratitude and stuff like that. And some days I'm like, oh my god, the Christians say it's bad. Is it bad? And then some days I'm like, oh, it's working really well. It must be good. And it's hard when you don't know what you believe. Like, I know people in my life that have a really strong belief in something and they know with all of their heart that it's true. And I respect that, and it can be dangerous for some people, obviously. But when it's people I love that seem to have a lot of love and integrity around it, I think it's really beautiful, and I try to get there myself, where I know exactly what's going on and what I need to do about it and who I am and what my beliefs and values are. And I feel like I've had times in my life that were like that, and it was beautiful, but also times when I had a belief in something and it was actually turned out to be a little too excessive or a little bit too obsessive or wrong entirely. And so there's always a healthy balance and medium. And maybe I don't need to know what's going on. Maybe I just need to live my life and help people and do my best and, make YouTube videos about it. I don't know. But my favorite part of life is all of the beautiful people in my life. My partner, my family, my friends, my community. That's the best part. My dog, my son. And it's these people that really make me show up every day and want to make a difference and want to take care of myself. And when I cry sometimes, I just think I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. It's too hard. I just don't want to be here. Doesn't mean I'm suicidal. It just means like life can be really hard. But I definitely feel there's way more good times than bad times, and I think it's normal to be sad. It's normal to cry. It's normal for life to be hard. Of course, we don't want it to be like that. We want everything to be peachy clean and jolly, but with the state of the world right now, it's really hard for me to stay in that peace state all the time and not worry. But I always just try to come back to trust. How do I trust myself? How do I trust this is part of the process? How do I trust we're going somewhere good? How do I trust that I can be a part of the solutions? How do I trust we're going to make it, And I don't know, we're going to make it, and I'll say it all the time because I do believe sometimes that what we affirm and prophesize and put out there comes true. So I'll say sometimes, like, it's going to work out. It's going to be okay. The world's getting better. The world's evolving. We're waking up, creating the new earth. It's going to be like heaven, I don't really know that. I could be totally wrong about that, but I really want to put that out there, and so I speak about it. And I've had times where I've had really bad dreams and weird things happen the next day, and I feel it's my fault. And sometimes I think if I tell someone my dream, maybe bad things won't happen, or I'll have really good dreams and good things happen, or, it's so interesting. And it's like, how do I affect the world? And what's really going on? Is people just mirroring what's going on inside of me? Are people really angels? Is it a dream? Is it an algorithm of virtual reality? Like, there's all these theories about it, but what I really feel is real is love. And when I feel that with my partner and my friends and my dog, that's what feels real. I hold on to that. And if these people are real, these connections are real, like I want more of it. And so I surround myself with people that help me feel love. And they don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to be, but I have to have people around me that I resonate with, and a partner that I resonate with, and friends, and people that lift me up, and people I can help lift up, and a beautiful, beautiful dog. And, even if they're struggling, I stick with them, but I don't let people into my circle anymore that are abusive, that are mean, that are judgmental, that are terrible at taking care of themselves, that don't, angry, condescending, critical, overly negative, I don't have time. Like, I'll help people if they want to give me a phone call, and I'll, guide them through in there with addictions or whatever, but I'm not going to go out for coffee and say that they're my friend. I'll be their mentor. I will help them, but there's people I've had to walk away from so I can stay strong. And that's where I'm at. And just really learning, like, am I meant to write? Like, my goal is kind of to go on these websites and enter essays to get paid to share my wisdom with people, or whatever you want to call it, my spiritual insight or beliefs or perspective. And it's pretty good money, so that's something I knew that I want to try that I've actually never done before. I'm a really, really good writer, and I think it'd be amazing to make a living off of it, and help people, because I've applied for all these jobs and they're beautiful and amazing jobs, but I already have my dream job at the Schizophrenia Society as a peer support worker, doing phone support for people with schizophrenia like me that need help, and telling my story at high schools, universities, and nonprofits. I just applied for a job at a health food store, and if I get it, I might take it. And if I don't, I trust it's not in my highest good right now. And so maybe the writing would be amazing, because it just really seems like I'm really worried about going back to work right now. I've been pushing myself really hard to apply for jobs, thinking that it'd be good for me. But the job at the Schizophrenia Society, and even at Good Life doing cleaning, is so good for me. And I can't believe I've actually had this job for the last 2 years at the Schizophrenia Society, and I took a month off because I was too stressed out, because I started applying for all these jobs. And I'm on AISH, so the thing with AISH is that they're switching us to a new program called ADAPT or something in July, and they want us all to work. And so they're setting us all up with career counselors to find work, and then we get 200 or 300 less. Maybe we'll get to keep the disability credit. Now they just give us 200 or 130 or whatever we get, and then AISH takes that off their check, so we don't actually get extra. We just get it at a different time than AISH. Maybe they'll let us keep that, so maybe that'll help. Or maybe they'll count it as income still. But either way, it could benefit some people, because it could be good for some people to go to work. But right now with AISH, you make $1,072 a month, and you get to keep about all of it, and anything over it, they take half up until you don't get your check anymore. So AISH is about $1,940 for me. I get a special diet for high fiber, my digestion, and I'm lactose intolerant, so I get a no dairy one. And then has an extra 40, and then I live in Onward Homes, so my rent is 30% of my income or so it's gone up. So if I make over 1,072, I basically don't keep any of it, because 50% will go to AISH, 30% goes to income, and the rest goes to a dog sitter. And so to push myself to work more when I don't even get to keep the money is daunting. And also kind of exciting, because like if I could get off AISH, that'd be beautiful, and not have to rely on the government, and someone else could get on AISH that needs it more and could be independent, and that'd be really cool. But I'm worried if I do that, then what, I might actually slip and like end up in hospital again or whatever. So it's really scary to think about. And it's like, oh, I'm doing so good, compared to how I used to do, and I have a really loving partner. I have an amazing job that I'm really good at, that I've kept for 2 years. Like, when have I ever kept a job in my life for 2 years consistently? well, I did with Studio C teaching yoga, but that was once a week. And, other jobs maybe that would work for a while and come back to, but it's changed my life so much working there. Like, I can't tell you. I left an abusive relationship. I found purpose. I found happiness, joy, community. People love me there. I love them. I feel accepted there. I feel needed. I feel wanted. And you guys, I came from a really dark, dark place in my past, in and out of it. And to be in a place where I can serve and really uplift people and tell my story and inspire high school kids to stay in school and get good jobs and not use certain drugs and stuff. So I love it so much. It's my dream job, literally. And I'm good at it. And the people there are phenomenal. These are all people with schizophrenia, except for 2 of my bosses. And so to be surrounded by people that have the same diagnosis and yet are doing amazing and helping others, like these people literally just like, a lot of them have been in really long-term relationships and healthy ones, or like just beautiful people. And when you go there, you just feel welcome and loved. And I get to act in the play, so I have a creative expression. The play is phenomenal. It's a beautiful love story about this man who gets schizophrenia and hears voices, and it's devastating, and he's scared. He doesn't tell anyone at first. And I wish our mission is to teach everybody about schizophrenia so people can identify it when it happens. It's very dangerous when you don't know what's going on and you don't seek help and you don't tell people, and you tell people and they don't know how to help because they don't know what's going on. Geez, like I wish I would have knew I had schizophrenia. I would have got help, sooner, and maybe I could have kept my son. And who knows, the sooner that you get treatment when it's that severe, the better the outcomes. So it took me 6 months before I ended up in hospital, and I begged my dad to go to the hospital, and he said, "You can't. You're going to lose your son. You won't get him back from child services if you go to the hospital." But I ended up there anyways and didn't get him back. Then he got adopted. It worked out. And my dad just didn't want to help me because he was just trying to help me. He wanted me to get my son back, and I love that. And you don't want to overuse the hospitals if you don't need them. That's true too. So I get his perspective and my mom's, and I've wronged my family so many times. As a teenager, I was a rebel and so mean to them, and ran away and didn't care to tell them where I was, and blame them for everything. And then, or my mom and her boyfriend, and then, I can't believe what I put my siblings through. Then attempting suicide or using drugs or whatever, being reckless and not caring about them. And then as an adult, dating an abusive person destroyed my family in a way, because, it hurts everybody when they see you go through it, and it breaks their trust in the world and themselves. And I'm really just trying to heal that. I have relationships with my brother that won't talk to me, and my niece and nephew I don't get to see very often, and my sister that's in another province that loves me dearly but is so busy with her family and work and other things that we barely talk. And that's so sad. But I get it, and I understand, and I'm still grateful and for my beautiful family. That's, some of them are broken, and I can't help them, but I know that as I help myself, I'll help them. And if I can reconcile, then that's beautiful. And it's I don't walk my dog enough, or walk her as soon as I get home sometimes, or train her like I should, or go buy all the medicines and take her to the vet to fix her stomach when I should. But the reality is, on a low income, that you have to choose sometimes between things like that. And she's relatively healthy, and I do put her on some meds, and relatively happy, and my boyfriend thinks I do a great job with her, and she's really lucky to have me. But I could do better, could do a lot better. You know, a dog like her needs, you know, an hour-long walk and like getting off leash and being trained. And but I have a friend with a dog and we go for walks together, and I do lots of longer loops with her, half-hour walks, and you know, get her out at least 3 times a day. And yeah, it's I'm super grateful she saved my life, and so I do the best I can. And I didn't raise my son, my family did, and so we reconnected and he's doing good, but I wish I could, you know, could have been there for him more and not had put him through such, you know, dangerous situations as a baby. But how did it all work out for him anyways? And he's such a good kid. So I hope he's doing well, and we'll see him soon. We got plans. It's beautiful, super beautiful. So I don't want to get into my past and what I went through because that's in other videos. But I do want to make more of these that are more real and just explain what it's like to be, you know. My motivation sucks. I barely can do the dishes some days. I can barely cook. So I eat pre-made food most of the time, unless I'm at work, and then I do the slow cooker, you know, and like my dishes will sit for a couple days sometimes. I don't take showers every day. I smell sometimes or my feet, but people don't really notice. I notice. I don't know, but yeah, and I get angry at myself a lot, and I, you know, put my partner through some things that I probably shouldn't, but his unbelievable faith in me and his ability to love me anyways. And my biggest issue is getting to sleep on time, being addicted to technology, and every night that I don't sleep on time, he doesn't. And I try to pray for him a lot, and I try to affirm and do affirmations about him being well, and just saying that everything's gonna work out and he's gonna take care of himself and get to bed on time and get enough sleep and do all the things in life that he wants to do. And I get a little nervous and angry with him, but not in a really mean way, just in a little bit of an irritable way, like, hey, I think you should do this or that. And but I don't control him. I say, like, this is what I want to see you do to make me happy, but you do you, and I'll accept that and love you anyways, because I've never been in such an incredibly beautiful relationship. He blows my mind. Every time I'm with him, he's sweet, and I just think I'm so thankful every day and give thanks for him. And I have a list of what I love about him that I read from, and a list of my favorite, how I want my life to look like. And I really try to give thanks, and I really try to just like wake up and be grateful for my life and always be kind, because there's no point in fighting him, and I don't want him to fight me, and he's really good at not fighting me. He stands up for himself when he needs to, and so do I, and we don't agree about a lot of things, and that's okay. Relationships don't need to be perfect in order to be beautiful and peaceful. And if I move in with him, I'll lose my Aish, and because his income's too high, and that terrifies me. Maybe on the new program I can stay on it with him, even if I don't get any money. At least I get health insurance or have a backup plan if I move out. It's like if I move in and then move out and I don't have Aish as a backup plan, then what? It takes a year to get back on, if at all, you know, come back into the Onward homes, and it's market rent and there's a wait list and whatever. So it's like, what would happen if we didn't get along? Would I have to stay and be forced to stay? Would I have to leave and be homeless? Like, I can't live with my mom again because my brother's there. And it's like, where would I go? I know I have friends that would probably help, and I could probably get jobs, more work and stuff, but I feel bad even moving in and not contributing enough with my money. So it's like, how do I be more abundant? Why do I earn such little money still at my age and have barely any savings? Like, I feel irresponsible, and I eat out sometimes. I go to the vending machine, I buy junk food, I buy things with artificial flavors and from tortured animals, you know, milk and dairy, from conventional farms that aren't ethically raised. And so all these little things that I do drive me crazy. And some days I feel so insignificant and like I can't be enough. And then other days I just feel like, wow, look at all the struggles that I went through. Luna's been through it too. The reason she's so reactive is because I let my ex hear, and he would yell a lot and it scared her. And so she barks at everybody. Well, not everybody, some people, and dogs. And people get scared sometimes, and I create a really safe distance between her and people. But, you know, it's embarrassing, and I feel like, oh my god, people must think I'm the crazy dog lady. But everyone's so sweet in the neighborhood. Most people, a couple people would yell, "Get your dog under control," but everybody else encourages me, like, keep going, you're doing great, like, and they see little improvements and they're like, "Wow, you're doing great." And it's like so encouraging to be surrounded by such beautiful neighbors and stuff. And I live in mental health housing, and a lot of my neighbors don't work, and a lot of them are severely mentally ill, and some have addictions and all kinds of things. So I live in this little ghetto in the middle of a richer, in a middle class neighborhood. And so, but it's beautiful, but it's like, oh, it'd be nice to get out of here one day and live a normal life and not be surrounded by people that are so mentally ill they can't work, they just stay home all day, they just hang out front and smoke all day. Some of them are really overweight or alcoholics or drug addicts. I've seen people here that look like prostitutes coming in and out, and it's a really sad thing to see some of my neighbors go into downward spirals about asking me if I'm friends with Satan, and like, oh, I'm the Queen of England, they say, and like, it's just exhausting some days to deal with these people. And a neighbor that threatened to light my garden on fire because I didn't buy something, a fence for the garden, or like that I promised to buy, you know. And it's just like, I'm just so tired of the chaos, and you know, I'm not going to go into world events because you already know. So it's like, how do we stay in the peace, calm, and still take care of ourselves and find things that bring us joy? Like singing for me, guitar, writing poetry, just putting music on and singing along, having an amazing bath, using herbal medicine, making a tea, you know, reading a book, putting on a spiritual podcast, watching a movie once in a while, not too often. Music, unbelievably beautiful music. That's my favorite part of life as the people, but also the music is incredible, incredibly beautiful. The food, I'm so blessed with amazing food, lots of organic, lots of natural, lots of deeply nourishing. I get to eat almost plant-based at home most of the time, and vegetarian outside of here. I eat a little bit of cholesterol, but that's about it here for dairy unless Trevor brings it over. And it's just like, wow, this is my life, and it's really, really beautiful, and I'm so blessed for who I am and what I've been through and what I get to offer and all the people in my life. And so it's shitty at times and hard, and I want to cry and I want to give up and I want to just make it all stop, but you can't give up, because there's no giving up in this. You can't just off yourself and then it gets better. That's not even a guarantee. And I get it when people do it, and I don't judge them because it's painful. But if we remember that if we keep going and we be strong and we make a difference and we help people, maybe in our life review at the very end, we'll look back and see all the people that we helped, and maybe that'll be enough to get us through and get us to where we need to be and help us get others there too. So that's what I live for. And we gotta be strong, you guys. We gotta rise up. We gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta like learn our values. We gotta do our work, and that's inner work and outer work. Outer work is what we do in the world, helping others. That's a must for a good life. That is an absolute must. If you can't work because you're so severely ill, maybe one day you can and you work up to it. And if you can't, that's okay. You take care of yourself and be kind to those, and you help people in your life by being there for them. Whether it's your neighbor or whatever, the person at the grocery store, I don't know. If you can work, please work. Maybe it's volunteering, maybe it's working for money, but doing something that we love to help others feeds our soul and it feeds their soul. You know, getting my dog saved my life, and having friends that I just randomly call on the phone and talk to for an hour, 5 minutes or whatever, or text, or go visit for a coffee or a meal at Primal Grounds or Light Cellar, or just like going to community events and like having a creative outlet. That's why I love doing these videos, and poetry and music, and creativity is a must. It's a must, whether it's cooking or gardening or painting or writing or posting on social media or not posting. I just joined a support group for people addicted to technology. Here I am on technology right now. I am on technology most of the day and it's exhausting, and I want to stop and pause and take breaks and lockbox my phone, but some days I can't and some days I can, and there's some days I just need technology. I have stuff to catch up on. I have to market events and help Trevor with his marketing, and he doesn't ask me to, but I do it. And it's as simple as me posting someone else's marketing post about his event or sharing it. Like, I don't do a lot, honestly, and I wish I could do more, but it's exhausting being on social media, and I just need to get off sometimes. And so if I could start writing, maybe I can give you guys some updates on how that's going. I want to write my mental health story and send it out. I want to write holistic stuff. I want to do poetry, but I just need one to start with, and it's like 250 writing gig for 1,500 words. I can write that pretty fast, so that could be amazing. And you know, I think it's all about intention, to help people to learn, to grow, to give, and then we learn as we go. And I might be on the really wrong path, you guys. I have no idea. I might be on a really great, beautiful path, and I won't know, you know, until I get to the destination what's true, because I've got Christians telling me one thing and it's beautiful, and the church saved my life, and it really makes me want to believe in God when I meet all the beautiful people there. And I went to church and they helped me leave an abusive relationship. I felt so much love there. I prayed with them. I loved praying with them. They would pray for anything that I would bring up. I loved singing. I loved the messages about there's a loving God and everything. And then now I go to SRF, and then, you know, so I'm not saying like, oh, it's bad for them to tell me that, that's their beliefs and values, and maybe they're right for all I know, maybe they're wrong. So I don't know. So I apologize if I'm a false teacher, because they say I am, you know, teaching about manifesting and all that stuff, but, or astrology, or worshiping the earth, all this stuff that I do sometimes. And it's exhausting going back and forth between like them telling me I'm going to hell, and then the new age telling me they're going to hell, and then people in the middle saying that like we welcome all paths and all religions, everything's based on love, it's all the same God. It's like, I don't know. And I talk about God, and I don't know there's a God, and maybe there is, and I don't want to deny it either, or deny that Jesus is real. Maybe he was a spiritual guru that came to teach us some beautiful teachings, and maybe we can call to him for help. And I do. I call to Yehoshua and Jesus and God, and I pray, and angels and Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Creator, Great Spirit, and in spirit guides and ancestors, you know. And I pray and bless my food, and I meditate, and I pray and ask for guidance, and then I listen and all this stuff. And the new group I'm taking is two-way prayer by a addiction support group for phone addiction. And then you talk to your higher power, you journal about what you hear, you journal about the attributes of the higher power and all this stuff. I don't know if we're allowed to share it, the teachings, but you can just do a quick Google search and find them, I think. So it's a 12-step program, but I haven't done any research. I've just kind of joined a group. It was super beautiful. The first day I barely went on technology all day, and then today I've been on it almost all day. So, but I had a lot of people to get back to, and I get so overwhelmed texting so many people, and that's what I don't like about advertising is I text my friends, which is beautiful, and then I get to hear back from them, but then it's like, oh my god, now I have 20 people to get back to. And I get burnout from being on my phone all day. It's just exhausting. Like I need breaks. I absolutely need breaks. And so it's really late. It's 1:30 in the morning and I got to get up. I'll leave around 11 or something. And so I just want you guys to know this is real. This is real life. And it's not easy. It's not. And it's not going to be easy. There's going to be people that die in our lives that we have to go through losing them. There's going to be so much loss and grief. But, you know, that's a part of reality, and maybe it's all for a reason. Like, I say this all the time, but like, if there wasn't sickness, well, the world would be all overpopulated. If people didn't die, well, we'd run out of resources in space. So death has a purpose. Maybe we go somewhere, maybe there's lessons we learn, maybe there's soul contracts before we come here. I don't know. But if there wasn't sick people, would we really be encouraged to take care of our health? If there wasn't, you know, an education, if there wasn't sick people, would there be doctors or herbalists or nurses? Would people have the opportunity to step into those roles to become angels on earth and help people without sickness and suffering and disease and all of that? But these people, they step in and they learn their trade and then they help people. So it's like when I would go to the hospital in the psych ward and see all the nurses, I was jealous. I was like, why do they get to have good jobs and show up and help me? Why can't I be one of them? And then finally 2 years ago I became like them, but in my own way at the Schizophrenia Society. And someone told me once that you go through all these struggles so that you can get better and help people, and I wanted to believe that, and I did believe it for a long time, and then I lost hope in it, and I thought, oh my god, I just want it so bad, but I don't know where it is. And I would volunteer with seniors, and I would volunteer with people with disabilities, and I volunteer for COST, where they feed clean water to people, or a green organization, or this or that, and then still end up in an abusive relationship. And I was like, why? I thought I was doing my work. I go to Potential Place and volunteer and like help people there, and like all this stuff that I thought like was good enough. And then I went back into hell for 8 years again. And like I thought I was past that, but it's always like falling down and rising back up. And I feel like I'm in the stage now where I'm starting to rise up. But I'm terrified because I know that can be taken away from me at any moment, because I know I've been to the highest highs on earth and then lost it all, and then found it again, and then lost it, and then found it and lost it. And it's like a game of hide and seek with God, Trevor says. I saw a green orb when I said that. And so, and I see spirits everywhere. I see these dark shadows moving around, and it's just like, oh, I talk all about light, and it's all for a reason, it's happening for a good reason, everything's gonna be fine. I don't know that, honestly, you guys. It's like, legitimately, I am seriously worried about the state of the world, about people that I love, about the environment, about the wars. Like, we need to take this seriously, and we need to do our work, inner and outer, and find a solution and be a part of a solution. We don't have to be that all solution to save the whole world. We just need to help ourselves, help others, put our own oxygen mask on first. Remember in the airplane when they tell you need to put an oxygen mask on yourself first before you help others? Because if you put yours on first, boom, you're alive. You're staying alive. And now you can put so many other people's on. But if you don't put yours on first, you're very limited in who you can save, and then you go. And when that plane hits the ground and they need people to escort people out, you're going to be there because you have your mask on. And maybe it's just a bit of turbulence, and maybe the plane's going to be just fine, but we don't know. So put your oxygen mask on first. You know, figure out how to help yourself and get really, really good at that, and then help others. Or maybe it's the opposite. You suck at taking care of yourself, and you find out how you're valuable and worthy by starting to help others. And so it's a balance of both. Both are so important, and we need both. We need to allow ourselves to give and receive, and like to receive from other people, right? And so it's all a game, it's all a balance, and there's rules to the game. And so we got to play by their rules, know what they are, and really, really, really take it seriously and do our best. And hopefully in the end, all the pain and suffering that we go through, it will be worth it for all of the love and light of what comes next. But we can't give up. We can't. There's no giving up, because if you give up, you give in, and you will not be, I don't think you'll be rewarded as much as if you don't give up, you know? And that's some people's path. And there is suicide, and sometimes I think, you know, maybe the people commit suicide to help the world, but I just worry if they do, they go somewhere worse. And it's like, if we don't learn our lessons now and become the people we need to be now, maybe when we die, we go, you know, become a ghost for 2,000 years before we come back and have an opportunity to do it again. So please don't give up. If you guys are struggling and you're suicidal, like, that's the worst place on earth you can be. I know it's the most painful place. Homicidal is also the most painful place, but, you know, or chronic pain or whatever it is, there's so much pain, but it's like temporary. We're gonna die anyways. We know that. That's a given. That's a guarantee, unless a miracle happens, which could happen. But it's like, just let it happen naturally, and try to take care of yourself. Eat well, take the plant medicine or the medication, see your doctors, herbalists, whatever it is you need to take care of your health. And, you know, give and serve. Give and serve. Always, 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 always give and serve. Always. And that is what will rise you up. That is what will make you better. You know, finding your value, your voice, your purpose, your truth, your message, and your tools. It's all about tools. We can't think our way out of this situation. We can't. But we can act our way. You know, every decision and behavior has an impact. What goes in motion stays in motion until an opposite force acts upon it. So we know the law of gravity, right? Unless you're on the moon, you're out of outer space, but you drop something on Earth, it's gonna fall down, right? And that's beautiful. That's like, we can work with the laws of gravity in all kinds of things. So it's like understanding the laws of the universe. Karma is real. What we give, we get. We hurt other people, we're actually just hurting ourselves. We help other people, we're actually helping ourselves as well. So, you know, understanding that karma is real and we want to work with it in a beautiful way. And so just really, really, like, really, 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 really study some of the teachings. You read books, just learn from other people that have made it. I love reading books and podcasts from people that actually like made it in life and are making a difference, and really learned a lot, because in spending time around those people too, it's beautiful, because there's so many people making it these days, you know, more and more all the time. So that's what brings me hope that, you know, Earth is going somewhere good when I see people like that. And even people that aren't spiritual, it's like, you know, they may eat conventional animals, they don't buy organic, and it drives me crazy. But I look at them and they just got so much love in their heart, and they raise their kids with love, and so that, you know, karma is so complex. I could say, for me, bad karma is eating meat, and for another person, you know, they're like, I need to eat meat or I'm gonna go crazy, and so it's good karma to eat meat, they believe. So it's like, we each decide what's gonna bring us good karma and what's gonna bring us bad karma, and we do the things that bring us good karma. And we can't do it all the time. We're still gonna probably do things that bring us bad karma, but as long as we have, you know, more good karma than bad karma, then we're gonna be okay. So just really trying to balance that out, I think, and learn the difference. You know, like doing math, I did it because I thought not doing it was painful and doing it was less painful. But when you have addictions, you have to realize that like addictions are bringing you more pain and quitting's going to bring you less pain. So it's really telling yourself that and really realize that and owning up to it and doing things that are going to like cause you less pain and more joy and freedom and beauty and love, and really go after those things and really look into your heart. I ask my heart every day and I close my eyes and I say, what do I need right now? And I sit and listen, and it could take a minute, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I listen, and then the messages come from within me, because it's all inside of us, the guidance. So, and yes, I ask for guidance outside of me, but I access it through inside of me. And so, and it's like, if there's a God or a higher power or angels, like it's like within us too, all of that love, all the strength and beauty. And it's like, if we have a God and higher power, what are its attributes? And then just tuning into that. And if it's real, then what would help me get closer to it or listen to or follow it, and what would bring me away or stop me from believing, and then what would the guidance be, and then listening, and then journaling about it, and then trying to act on it. Like, oh, it's writing a song. Okay, I wrote a song, I put that out there for you guys. So if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, so reach out if you want to communicate, and drop me a message in the comments too. Let me know what helps you stay strong. And yeah, I would love to hear from you, because like we're all in this together, and I don't think we should be ashamed of our mental health. I think we need to talk about it, and we need to get it out there and destigmatize it and normalize it, because most people are, I think 1 in 5 people have mental illness. So and most people have some form of struggle. So it's okay to talk about it, and I really appreciate you guys watching this. I think it's incredible that you want to make a difference in your lives and learn from other people and spend some time, studying from people that have been through struggles, that are trying to make a difference. And I really do these videos for you guys. So if you comment me and subscribe and like, it warms my heart, and it helps our community, and it helps me make more of these, and it keeps me motivated. Maybe just let me know, like, what do you want me to talk about? Is there a topic you want to hear from me? Or feel free to share your favorite mental health speakers too. There's lots of them, and I'm not here to tell people what to do or be some guru, because we need to look in our own hearts. So if something I say doesn't resonate, then that's fine. That's beautiful. Don't listen to it. And if something that I say does, do it. But don't do everything I say because I said it. Just look in your own heart and really ask yourself, what do I need today? And then just try it. Try it for one day and see. Try to meditate and be like, what do I need? What is in my heart asking me to do? And then just do it without fear. Just do it, And if your intuition says not to, and and it says your inner voice is guiding you wrong, then you know that too. It's all like you already know what to do. You just gotta really just try, keep trying, and I believe in you. Thanks, guys.